Hey everyone, it's Michelle Fawcett, the Dreaming Dilettante, and I'm coming out to you with a follow-up video to my daily planner video, and this was on request from Fran. So Fran, thank you so much for the request. Basically, this is going to be a little bit of a follow-up to how I use my planner, and if you guys remember, or if you had a chance to watch the original video, and if not, I'll pop a link below so you can check it out. This was my daily planner, and this is the system I'm kind of using right now to keep myself organized, to keep things moving forward, and to make some of my big dreams that I'm having throughout the year happen. So you can watch the video on how I use the planner just as a daily organizer, how to keep myself from overscheduling, overcommitting, and it's worked out pretty well. I've used it full for now, maybe 2 months, 2 full months, and it's been working out fairly well for me. It's helping me keep track of things, and I'll show you a little bit here. And I'm going to go to the month of March, which I don't have anything in yet. But basically, I've talked in the video, and I'm not going to go into the whole detail again, but what I do is I write on each day the stuff that I want to get accomplished. If it gets done that day, it just gets crossed through, and if not, if I have to carry it to another day or another week, I just put a little CO in brackets, and then I carry it over and I write it on another day, so things don't get lost, is basically how I've been using the system. And what's really nice, too, is I found that unless it's something that's date specific, in which case it also goes on the main calendar. If it's not something that's date specific, then I can kind of look at this, and I don't necessarily have to go by each day, but I can try to spread things out so that I don't have one day where I'm doing 10,000 things, and I can kind of spread it out that way. So it's pretty much how I've been using the system. As I talked, I do have it color-coded and different things like that. But the question that had been asked was, I talked about Leonie Dawson's 2014 Create Your Amazing Year workbook. And if you don't have this workbook, I'm going to provide a link in the description bar below so you can check that out as well. It's a wonderful workbook. I've used it now for, and I hadn't realized how many years I've used it for, but I think it's going on like 4 or 5 years that I've done this workbook. And last year was, I would say, the first year I can say I actually worked the workbook, where I went back, I checked in, I kept a list, I kept focus on the things that I want to do. So I'm not going to open up and go through the book, only because this is all really personal and dream-oriented stuff, and not that that's a bad thing to share. I just think I think dreams are kind of like baby seedlings. I think I read this somewhere once, and not to sound too like overly dramatic, but it's kind of like this baby seedling, and if you put it out in the garden way too soon, it's just not going to be strong enough to withstand it. So I feel like everything needs to be given its own respect and its own time to be shared and brought forth in the world. And some things aren't for the world. Some things are strictly for us. So I'm not going to necessarily go through the things in the workbook. But one of the things that you do, and this is what makes it great, is you make a to-do list book from the workbook. And again, I'm not going to go into how to do that. If you want to pick up the book, you can learn how to do that. But how I incorporate, this is really, I guess, for people who either have this or interested in getting the workbook. And what's cool is I ordered an actual printed copy, but you can also get it digital. So if this is something that you're interested in, you can order it and have it downloaded right away. The other thing I'm going to tell you is whenever you're watching this video, even if you're watching it a couple months into the year, I mean, we're in February right now as I'm filming this, but if you're watching this in June, you can still do this workbook. So don't feel that, oh, I had to start it in January, I'll have to wait. You don't have to wait. Give the workbook a shot. I mean, for me, when I started my daily planner, I started in November because I wanted to have a chance to feel it out and see how it worked for me and kind of tweak it along the way so that when the new year started, I was ready to go. So that might be something that you want to consider as well. So here is my to-do list book, and it's broken down by categories of all my goals: financial goals, personal goals, spiritual goals, how they're broken down in the book. And from there, you make actionable items that you want to do. So for example, one of my goals would be to how I would like to increase my subscriber list for my website and for my blog. So if I want to increase my subscriber list, some of my actionable items are, one of which is to make more videos. So I get to check something off today. But I might have some ideas for videos, right? So maybe I have an idea to do, like, for example, I'm going to record my daily planner video. So that's an idea. So what I'll do is I'm just going to put right in my notes section, daily planner video. And I might put some more details if I think I'm not going to remember. But I find this note section that's on each week of the planner really helpful, because then I can kind of watch it, look at it, and I can say to myself, all right, this is something that I, ideas of. It's like a placeholder, I guess, for my ideas. So I can sit there and I can look at these and decide, okay, great, now I've got a spot for them. I don't have to work on it right now, but they're not getting lost. So I write down little notes here, and then I might say, hey, you know what? I'll look at my calendar and I'll say, okay, I'm going to work on this on Friday. And so then on Friday it'll go, record video. Record daily planner video. So now that actionable item went from being in my dream book of, oh, this is something I would love to do. I want to increase my subscriber list. Oh, yes, I want to increase my subscriber list. And then it just kind of sits there. It sits there in no man's land, and you just kind of dream about it and think about it, but nothing actually happens from it. So now you've taken it. I've taken one item. I've recorded this daily planner video, and I'm going to mention subscribing to my newsletter. Done. And now it's all in here. So now you've had an opportunity to put something on your calendar. You've made it a priority. And I talk about this in my art journaling workshop, that it's very important to not just set out the intention or sign up for a workshop or watch a video or go out and buy a tool. It's very important to create the space for it and to make sure that you're sitting down and you're actually revisiting your goals, that you're giving them the love and attention they deserve. And to kind of go back to my, my little seedling analogy, it's one thing to put it in the soil, but you have to make sure you water it. You have to make sure it's getting enough sunlight. You have to give it attention. You have to make sure that before you plant it in the soil, you have a spot for it. You have a windowsill that's going to get enough sun. So all of that, I'm not trying to be very esoteric about it is a planner, but I think oftentimes we find ourselves sitting in this place of, I have all these things I want to do, but I never get any of them done. Or, we're in this place of like, oh, I don't know how so-and-so gets so much done. Or I don't know how you can accomplish these things when you've got, this is how, because this planner is mine and I get to fill it up with my own things. And for me, part of the questions, part of the things that I've focused on with it is kind of sitting down and asking myself, before something goes in here, is it in alignment with my focus for the year? And if you saw my vision board video for this year, you saw that it's art, home, family. And those are the things that are really my focus for this year. So if something doesn't fall within that, and really what I loved about those 3 words was it really kind of encompasses everything. It encompasses the things that, maybe aren't something that we would choose to do, but things that we really do feel we have to do because they're for a family member or a friend who you consider family. And so those are things that are valued and important. So those will go into my calendar. But anything before it gets put in here, if it's not in alignment with those 3 core values, I have to take a chance, stop and think about it and say, is this something that I still really want to do? Now, or if I don't do that and it goes in here and I find myself week upon week not getting any of the things that I say I want to do accomplished, I have to own that. And I have to say that, well, you know what? You put a lot of things in your life, planner, life, whatever you want to call it, that weren't in alignment with what you wanted. So you're sitting here saying that you want your focus to be art, family, home. You're saying you want to increase your subscriber list. You're saying that you want to insert whatever your goal is for this year or for, this month. You're saying that's what it wants, but your actions aren't in alignment with it. So how on earth could it possibly happen? So that's what I kind of find with this planner. It's not perfect. Please don't think by any stretch of the imagination that I don't have stuff in here that that didn't go through that whole grilling system. And that's life, and that's how we learn and we grow, but at least I'm aware of it. And I'm able to look at this and say, wow, you just filled up your entire week with stuff that wasn't in alignment and wasn't important to you. All right, well, that's cool. I get next week. That's the beauty of sitting here and deciding how you want to do things, also writing things in pencil, which is always very nice. So this is how I use the book to incorporate, all the stuff that I am doing in this workbook. And as I said, I really do recommend this workbook. For me, I feel that I've gotten more accomplished with it, and in a gentler way. I'm not a big, like, push yourself driven A-type person. It's just not my personality. I like to do things gently and kind, and I like to think that things happen in an organic flow, and I like to be present with things and not just be in this place of push. That's just not something I'm comfortable with. But what's really nice about, at least for me, this workbook is it's a nice balance for that, because it's great to be gentle with yourself, but sometimes you need to kind of encourage yourself and be a little bit more of a push. And so that's where all this kind of comes in handy. It's giving me a structure. It's giving all my little goals and dreams and places a home. This workbook is, I don't carry it with me, but I think I might start, actually, because one, it's beautiful. I love the colors. But I think I do want to keep it with me. I have a little bag, actually not a little bag, but it's a bag that I carry with me, and it goes up and down with me throughout the day, because I don't often get to sit in my workstation at my little creative corner. I don't often get to sit and do that. So I like to bring my laptop and my planner and any pertinent, maybe a book I'm reading or things like that, down with me in the mornings when I head downstairs. And then at night, it comes back up with me, so that if I want to do some work at night before bed, or if I just want to do some reading or whatever, it's kind of like a purse. I have all my important things with me, accessible wherever I'm at in the house. So I think this might get added to that bag, but I do try to check in with this once a week. I think Leonie recommends once a month to sit down and do like a review of this, just to kind of check in to see, oh, that's right, I forgot I wanted to do that, because you think you'd remember, but things fall off. I add things. I have my 100 things to do list, and I have these tagged, that, my affirmations, and my ritual days, which are aspects of her book. I have those tagged so that I can easily find those pages and review them. I'm still adding things to my 100 things to do list. I remember last year I was adding stuff well into the year that I would come up with, but I don't want to just force it to come up with 100 things and have them not be things I really want to do, so I'm taking my time with that. So I like to sit down weekly and kind of look at this and say, okay, well, what were some of the things that I wanted to accomplish, and what falls into that, and what can I do this week to enhance it? I talked about in my other video how I use my planner on Sundays, and I kind of sit down on Sundays and I do my planning session. So I'll sit down and look at what I have coming up for the week, and that's kind of how I can determine, looking at the week and saying, okay, well, I think this is going to be a really good day for me to record videos. This is going to be a great day for me to update my blog post, about some of the new Stampin' Up! Products. This is a really good day for me to plan that picnic that we've been wanting to go on. I'm thinking about warm weather things because we are buried under snow. I don't know if you can hear it, but there are snow blowers throughout the neighborhood going in the background. So, but a picnic sounds wonderful at this point. But yeah, so this is kind of how I use the planner, and it's not always foolproof. Things get carried over from one week to the next sometimes. But it feels like it's more of a conscious choice that way. I can sit here and look at this and say, gee, I wanted to, like, for example, I know one of the things on my list for today is that I want to put out Valentine's decorations, and I actually wanted to do that 2 days ago. It hasn't happened yet, but that's okay. I'm going to get them out today, and I've consciously not done it. So it's not like I'm sitting here and I'm like, oh, that's right, I wanted to do that. They're here in the book, and I'm saying, you know what, we're doing this today, and that feels better, so I'm going to push that back. And then on a plus note, any of the things, like I keep in the back here, any bills that need to be paid, the few bills that still have to be mailed out with a check, or things that need my attention, like license renewals and things like that. I keep those in the back of my the book here, so things don't get lost, because I have my desk, but sometimes I won't be up here for 2-3 weeks. I just don't get a chance to actually sit and work. So having everything in one place, I don't have to come up and check a folder and say, oh, that's right, this needs to get done. When I sit down to pay bills, this comes out and everything's right there. So I like everything being contained in one little spot. I do have some note cards that I've been keeping in here, just for, really for decorative purposes. And I normally have all my colored pens in here, but my daughter likes playing with them, so I think they're in the they're just loose in the bag right now that I carry with me. So that's it. It's really not overly complicated. This is just kind of how I use the planner in coordination with Leonie Dawson's workbook. So hopefully you find it handy, and it's something that, maybe I gave you a few ideas or introduced you to her planner. If you haven't had a chance to check out her site, as I said, I'm going to put a link to the planner in here, and she's got beautiful write-ups, and you can read all about it and what other people have had to say about the workbook. But I definitely recommend it, and the price is so reasonable, and I forget what it is, but I don't even want to guess because I'll probably guess wrong, but I'll put it in the video once I'll look it up when I get done recording, and I'll plop it in here so you guys can see. But it's so affordable, and it's something that, like I said, if you want it and you want to get going, like if you watch this video and you're like, what, I want to do this, I'm ready to get going, you can do it for instant download, and you can have it and print it out, because that's how it was available for the last couple of years. It was the only way you could get it, and this was the first year she did the printed copy, so I thought that would be fun to get myself. All right, so that's it. That's my video. Fran, again, thanks for the suggestion. And if any of you have suggestions or ideas or things that you would like for me to record videos on, please check out my blog, and you can contact me on there and send me an email. I'd love to hear your suggestions. Thanks so much for watching. Have a great day.